Greetings YouTubers, LogicPQ here, and we're back to get the Chapter 8 A-side, Golden Strawberry. The three sections in this level are Into the Core, Hot and Cold, and Heart of the Mountain. Golden Strawberry starts at Into the Core. Just keep in mind that the mechanics for this level are a little different than what we've seen the rest of the game. Your dash does not recharge anymore when you touch the ground. The only way to recharge your dash in this stage is to change rooms, or to get the green recharge crystals. For this first room, you just wait until you can jump through 2 dashes upright, and then hold right there, and then do an upright dash and a straight across dash. This room is often confusing to people at first, but it's actually just teaching you how to use the blocks. For this room, all you have to do is do 2 upright dashes, and land on the right side of the block so it can throw you over here. You have to jump off at the right moment when they break. So this is a good room to practice that and figure out how they work. The direction the blocks throw you is dependent on where you last are. It'll throw me that way. If I move over there, even though I touched it on the right side, I walked over to the left side before it threw, and it threw me to the left side, so the blocks kind of function a little awkwardly in that way. Moving on. This room is another tutorial room. You learn how to use these like moving chains or whatever these are, I'm not actually sure. If you jump when you want to leave them, you'll get a lot of distance. If you don't go as high, and that's pretty much it. Once you arrive at this part at Into the Core, you have 2 options. You can go to the right, which is what you're supposed to do, or you can skip that entire section and just go straight up, even though there's fireballs in the way. I was actually unaware that this trick existed to skip this whole section to my right until it was brought up to me by one of my subscribers. His channel is Rikri, R-I-K-R-I. I'm going to leave the link down in the description so you can go and check him out. You know, give him a sub. He gave me a lot of help here by telling me about this trick, and in turn he helped you guys get through this Golden Strawberry a little bit easier. Now going straight up is difficult, so for those that cannot figure this out or are not understanding the explanation that I'm going to give, I will still be including the right section in my video. But for those who want to learn the skip, and I advise that you try, you want to line up Madeline so that when you jump into the green crystal and then dash up and to the left, you will be able to squeeze between 2 of those fireballs. Once you've made it between the lower section of fireballs, you'll be able to hover there for about a half second, maybe a quarter of a second. This gives you enough time to observe the upper chain of fireballs. What you are looking for is an opening in that upper chain so you can dash straight up. And then once you make it through that chain, you just dash up and to the left. With enough practice, this trick is very replicable, and since it's so early in the Golden Strawberry run, it is entirely worthwhile to learn. When practicing this trick, the first thing I would do is I would practice getting Madeline such that when you jump and you dash through the green crystal, you will also always make it between the 2 fireballs on the lower chain. So that's the first thing to always go for. Once you are able to accomplish that efficiently, then you start trying to do the dash up. But you have to make sure that you're observing the top chain. You can't just dash up immediately as soon as you make it between, because the top chain might be there. The top chain does not run at the same pace as the bottom chain, so it does have slight variations. The reason why we're observing those variations is whether or not to boost up. Sometimes there is not even a gap to do it, so you just fall back down and you try again until you hit the right cycle. Even if you do die at this part trying to do the skip, it's not a big deal because you only did like 4 rooms prior to this with the Golden Strawberry, and you can just start over again. This is probably the first room that you'll actually have trouble on to some degree. Doesn't really matter when you go, you just want to make sure you can dash through here. Somehow you can dash upright or however, just get to the wall. Don't use 2 dashes, that's the most important thing. You're gonna want the other one. You don't need it, but you're gonna want it because it makes this part a lot easier. You'll see you have this chain thing here. Just line up the dash here and go through. There's a consistent way to do this room. Is as soon as I see the fireball that's closest to me here appear on the bottom of the screen, I go up. You don't have to be too quick though. In fact, if you're too quick, I don't think it even works. And then you just do like a little jump through there. So then you're good. For this part, you line up the platform with Madeline's butt, and then you go when you can jump through. And then you just walk across that platform. You want to let it do a full wind up and then jump at the latest that you can. So this is definitely worth practicing, and it makes it extremely consistent. Moving on. What I found easiest for this room was to try to jump in between the 2 fireballs here, and then set up the platform so that it launches you through, and then just totally skip the second platform altogether. So you just gotta learn how to set it up. You'll see that I didn't move too far to the right because it would have launched me more to the right if I had kept on moving. And that's all you need to do for this room. This room is simply just jumping up, dashing up, right, and then up, and then grabbing this. You don't want to end up here. Make sure you don't crash into the ice wall or the firewall that was here, because it does kill you. And then this is just kind of teaching you how the ice physics work. You'll note that you can't turn around very quickly with ice physics. This is important later when you have to be moving quickly, and if you try to turn around, you'll notice that you're just super slow and awkward. Best get used to that while you can right now. For these, you go a different height depending on if you're holding jump or not. So for this part, I would just recommend just holding jump for the entire area, because you don't, there's no reason not to. And that crystal's there to help you get your second dash back so you can do this. But I'm going to show you that if you have a speed strat, in case you're bored of retrying this level 1,000 times, trying to get the golden strawberry, you'll have your one dash still when you're here. You can just do a wall bounce, and you're good. You just hold left the whole time after you do the wall bounce. And that's it. You get back here, and you have to line up this jump. Since now you can jump on the ice balls, but you can't touch the underside. If you touch the underside or the sides, they have spikes, they just kill you. You want to make it so that you don't hit the one above it when you jump on it, but you still get the one below it, and you just do a full jump and a full jump off the next one to get through this part, and that's it. Now this is where it starts to pick up. You hit that to turn it to fire because you need these chains, and you just use one dash to get through that. One dash, it regenerates here, and then you just gotta line up this jump so that I could hit my head on the ceiling and not get hit by a fireball while I was doing that, and then move to the left while I was doing that so I could line up a straight up dash so I could grab the chains up here. So the way I set up this room is, you see the fireball chain going across on the top? You go when the rightmost fireball disappears behind the wall. So you'll go as soon as you see it disappear completely. And then you stand on the right side there and then launch yourself up this way. Use your dash, and then you just want to land on this and then get a straight up boost off of that bounce pad, so you want to land right in the center. This part, all you have to do is make sure you go straight up pretty much, and then use the momentum there. If you save your dash for it, you'll still have a dash just in case. There's two ways to make it so that the triangle is either has the tip pointing up or down. So think about it like that. You want to go when the tip of the triangle is up. Like that. So you do 3 upright dashes and then a 4th one and a straight up dash, and then you just jump on these, which isn't too hard to line up. You just hold B while you're jumping on them, so it's easy, and you move on. For this room, you'll see that you have bounce pads because now it's cold. They're not the fiery ones. Those ones just kill you. So you don't need to get a full bounce off of that. You want to use that bounce and then control that and then boost into that and then boost up to there. And then stand a little bit on the right side of that platform. Not too much, just like slightly off center. And then use that to get into the green crystal and change it back to ice. For this section, you don't even need to use any dashes to get through it. When you see a block gets lined up with the ground that we're standing on, we'll jump. When we're gonna hold B the whole time we're jumping on these, so we get full jumps. Alright. And then you bounce twice on this, and then a 3rd time. And then one more on this. And then you get to this bounce pad. And then you can just hold right once again to get through that section. And as you see, I didn't need to use any dashes. It's really easy and consistent as long as you set it that way. It is easy to do once you know what you're doing. Alright, as soon as you enter this room, the lava is going to start moving up from the bottom of the screen. So you won't be able to wait here like I am. You're going to want to run across as quickly as you can and grab the chain and move up. And then do 2 upright dashes to grab this chain. And then as soon as you enter this room, get up to this platform as quick as you can. And then boost over. Get this crystal, and then you just gotta go. So just weave between the fireballs, and then you might have saw what I did right there was when I got the chain, I hesitated a little bit by double tapping climb, and you can do that as much as you need to. Just make sure you're not falling off the chain, because it allows you to adjust when you go up to allow a fireball to pass, and that's super helpful in case you didn't line it up exactly how you wanted it to. So learning how to hesitate on those chains is really useful. I'll show you what I mean one more time over here. Kind of like that. You saw how I only fell like a little bit, but I re-grabbed it about 4 times. That's really useful, and you should definitely learn how to do that for this. Alright, so use 2 dashes to get to here. Make sure you save them both. It's actually kind of dumb if you don't. Alright. And then right when you get to here, you can just do 4 dashes straight up. For this part, you just do 2 dashes up. And you can just wall jump off of those, you don't even need to grab them. And right there, as you saw, I can just kind of do a bunch of dash stuff. And we're good. So you want to go straight up right away, and then wait for your opportunity here. Which is pretty much as soon as the fireballs go into the wall. And then look for your openings. Hold left as soon as you enter this room, you have to be really quick. Jump up that wall, the right wall. You don't need to, don't hold B for jumping on those because it's faster. This one you do need to, but you don't want to hold right. And then you're good. As soon as you enter this room, you're going to want to go to the left. They're going to start crawling up the side of that one. And you're going to want to do a full jump off of it when it launches you. These ones you want to do like mid jumps. Otherwise you're going to die. And that's the whole room, but that room's very tricky because you have to deal with so many of those blocks. This room is worth a lot of practice, just so you can kind of nail it down. Hit the switch, obviously, and then we're going to do full jumps off of these. So just hold B. Try to grab the upright corner there, doesn't really matter though. 2 dashes. And then we're going to do a bunch of full jumps off of these, weaving. Stand in the middle there. 2 dashes, and you're good. And that's the last section going up. You just go through this breakable wall, and we start the stage. So as soon as I step up onto the platform up there, the stage is going to start moving. You're going to want to get that refresh crystal because you're going to need it. So go upright, straight across, then hit the bounce pads. Uh-oh. So you actually have a lot of leniency on that, so that's fine. I would wait until the fireballs are covered up, because it gives you more time here. You don't need to hold B there. In fact, I would recommend not, because you go a lot faster and you need to go fast for that part. Upright and straight again. Climb up this pretty quickly. And then upright and straight again, and you're good. That room's free. For this one, you want to hit the pads, but you got to do it quickly, so line up the right side hit there quickly, and you should be okay. For this part, you want to get on the right side and kind of do that. Boost right there like that, then do 2 dashes to get up into that section. For this part, because the ground is slippery, if you try to walk up to the spike and then stop, you'll probably slide into it. Or if you stop, you won't be able to gain momentum like you normally do when you jump. So you'll hit the spike because you'll hit the top of the ceiling with your head, and then you'll bump back down into the spike. So you need to do that all in one motion. You just want to run across and then jump over the spike. And then you fall down here, upright, and then straight across, and then 1 upright, and then 1 upright again. And then we're good. Because it's one of the last rooms. So don't worry about how difficult it is, because it's really just kind of moving up and down a lot, as you see. It's not a big deal otherwise. So this room, the lava doesn't start moving actually until you get to like the edge of the platform there. So I would start right about here. And I would look at the blocks that are appearing and disappearing. You want to time it so that when you jump off the block to my right, the blue block will appear below us. So you'll pretty much jump on the block to my right when it turns pink. If you mess up, you can just go back and reset. And just make sure you time these jumps. So you just gotta take your time. Make sure you're timing the jump here, and then I would start using the dashes right there, because you got to get through quickly, and then you're good. Once you get this tape, you've beaten the level. There's no way you can die after it, and the golden strawberry is all yours. So this is essentially the end of the run, and now that I've shown you everything that you need to know for the Chapter 8 A-side Golden Strawberry, I'm going to show you the run that I did. It's going to have a lot of annotations in it, like I always do. Good luck out there, climbers, and I'll see you on the other side. Before I show you the final run, I wanted to tell you that one thing I've learned while making these Golden Strawberry videos is that practice means everything for when you actually do the final runs. You should be practicing a lot of these rooms, especially the ones that I showcased in the tutorial. It only took me a little bit longer than an hour for practicing, and just about an hour to actually obtain the Golden Strawberry itself. After the practice. If there is one key to getting these golden strawberries, it's practice. And with that, let's get to the run. god. I can't believe I did it. Oh my god, I thought that was going to take so much longer. I would really appreciate it if you subscribe and like the video. It helps me out a lot, and it makes it so that I can make more of these kind of videos for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.